Yeah, here we go.
Hey.
Ripping it, getting it. What is up, everybody? Let me bring in the mad lads themselves right here. Yes, we're here.
It's Harpoon.
It's Harpoon. Dude, have either of y'all ever listened to Lil Wayne? I'm sure you have.
A couple times, not really intensively.
Thomas, do you listen to Lil Wayne much at all?
Much like Nino, I know of him, but I know Little John goes, yeah!
He does, much like that. Yeah. Actually, that was a pretty good Little John. I can appreciate that.
Yeah.
Sounds like a high
I could do
school
Little
dance
Richard,
for
but I don't
me.
want to hold my vocal cords down.
But dude, Lil Wayne has this lyric. You know, there's this rap song. I woke up in a new Bugatti.
Yeah.
Dude, he did a remix to it. I'd never heard it until the other day. And it's just funny, you know, Thomas said it's Harpoon. In this song, he goes, I woke up in a new Punani. That guy.
I woke up in a new Punani.
That shit.
I was just making this stupid Overwatch joke.
Bro, it ripped me to the core, man. I was like, dude, this shit is the funniest shit I've ever heard in my whole life. Yeah, like, I used to really, really dislike Lil Wayne. Like, really dislike Lil Wayne because his influence on teenagers when I was in high school was horrible.
Oh, yeah.
Because back then, like in 2008 and 2009, it wasn't just like, this is party music and this is cool. It was, oh, Lil Wayne said I should try to do all these things, so I'm going to do them. He says
Exactly.
to be cool, you got to do them all the time. I'm doing that. And I saw a lot of my friends just turn into zombies, like trying to be Lil Wayne, drinking from a styrofoam cup and doing all of these different terrible drugs and stuff. So I was really bitter and angry towards him back then. But now I realize that they were just kind of stupid for doing that. And he's actually hilarious. He is fucking hilarious. He has said some really, really funny stuff. But when people take him seriously, that's when it's a problem.
Yeah, no, it's
like Pee Wee Herman in that porn theater.
Yeah, dude.
Dude, what else are you going to do at a porno theater except for Jack your ween? Let him be.
I totally don't understand. Yeah, like that's like should be either you can do that or those places should be illegal to begin with. Like you just shouldn't. You just shouldn't have them. Like if you can't do that, why do they exist? Are you serious that you just?
The problem was they
now, guys, don't go into too graphic detail on this for obvious reasons. But like, you know. How those two seem like if one is there, then the other one is the whole point.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Well, yeah, it's like people are just like, "Oh, he's a child actor. You shouldn't be doing that." It's like, no, fuck you. He's a human being.
Well, no, they framed it like he was in an actual, just normal movie theater.
Yeah,
like, no.
That's the way that I first heard it. Was just like he was watching Dumbo and decided,
Yeah, exactly. He was just watching Bambi and just whipped his dick out. It's like, no, he was in a porno theater, dude. It's like, leave the man be.
Leave him alone. Yeah.
Leave Pee Wee alone.
That was what he should have done. But yeah, dude, like, it seems like a lot of things are set up. Like, have you ever thought about the fact that around the country, in the United States of America, there are plenty of places where you can't really call a cab or an Uber or anything like that, but you can go somewhere and get hammered. They're allowed to get you hammered there beyond the ability to drive. What are you supposed to do?
Yeah, exactly.
You shouldn't be able to do that if the consequence of that is you have to drive home drunk now. There's literally no cabs. Like, every town around me, the odds of you being able to find a cab or even an Uber for that matter is probably zero, especially at times of the evening that you would probably be hammered and need to go home. But there are tons of places to get hammered and have to go home. Now, if you don't drive, you have to walk. Guess what drunk in public is? Go to jail. You know what I mean? So what's the deal with that? Why are there all these places where it's just like, everybody, come one, come all, but you might go to jail?
Yeah.
What the hell, dude? That doesn't make any sense at all.
Spin the wheel, fuckface.
Dude,
Exactly.
there was this bar that my band used to play at all the time. It was a fucking hole in the wall. It was a piece of shit. And they completely kicked everybody out of it now.
Was there a brick in that wall?
There were bricks in the wall. There were. Okay. And many other things. Probably syringes tossed up against it and nasty ass shit like that. But,
shut up, Pink Floyd.
Yep. But this place, it was in the middle of a town that was notorious for the police just like anything they can get you for, because it was the smallest city in Virginia, so they had to pay city taxes and shit, so they were just trying to catch people for everything, dude. Everything. Yeah. And so they would mark people's tires in the parking lot with chalk, like neon chalk, a stripe of it, so that when they pulled you over, they knew you had been in the parking lot of that bar. So they knew you had been drinking. So they were going to get everybody out, breathalyze everybody, like check everybody's. So if you saw a car pull out of that parking lot past 9 o'clock, pulling them over every time. They just sat at the gas station across the road from it and waited for people to leave, which is highly illegal, by the way, and didn't stop until like we had been there for like a year or so. They got in trouble and finally had to stop doing that. But dude,
they really wanted that Christmas bonus.
They wanted that bread, dude. They wanted that money.
God damn.
Speaking of bread, this stream is sponsored by Crown Royal Apple Whiskey.
Oh, he got that apple. Wonder if Lil Wayne's got that song. He got that apple. He got that drink. He got that styrofoam cup.
Not officially sponsored, but it could be. Crown Royal.
Crown Royal.
Get us up.
Call us here, man.
Anybody, dude. Money. Anybody. Blue Chew. Viagra.
Starburst.
Anybody.
Dude, I'll take some Blue Chew.
Townhouse pita crackers.
Anybody.
A&W root beer. I got plenty of fucking snacks here, man. Fucking Doritos even. We'll sell out Doritos. Fucking get us the money.
Dude, if A&W wants to send us a care package, I'll fucking advertise that shit all day.
Dude, I really do like root beer, and believe it or not, there were A&W fast food restaurants over here.
Yeah, I've heard about that.
And they were actually pretty good. Like, the shit was pretty banging, fries on point, you know.
Okay, hold on. Let's do this. What brand of root beer is your favorite? A&W, Barks, or Mugs?
Well, I've never had the other two, so my options are kind of limited.
Well, that's there. Personally, I would go with Mugs as first off, but A&W is a close second.
I would say, like, I've had a bad experience with all of them, because root beer has been one of those sodas that I've had that's been flat when it shouldn't be. Like when it's brand new, I've had flat root beer a couple times. But I would say when it's fresh, it's all good, because it's one of those sodas that has to be extremely carbonated to be good.
Yeah.
Like root beer floats and shit are disgusting to me. I can't mess with that, dude. Like Coke float's fine, but root beer, I don't know.
Well, Mean Metal Mike's saying he likes Barks. Says that a sharp taste he enjoys.
Yeah. Dude, I remember when they first started coming out with like alcoholic sodas and stuff, and they had that alcoholic root beer, like your dad's root beer or whatever. It was awful. Did you ever want to like barf licorice? Drink too many of those. Shit was gross, dude.
Well, I mean,
if you're talking rum, now we're talking.
If you're talking licorice, you're talking to the right fellow right here.
Yeah.
I'm one of the few freaks that doesn't vomit when he just, sees a bag of licorice.
Dude, I thought of something really funny the other day, and I wanted to ask you guys about it, especially you, Nanopolis. I know Thomas has probably had this experience before, but I'm curious about over in the old Europe, the old motherland. So around my parts, and you can chime in on this too, Thomas, if you've had this experience. There have been many times where I've seen these dudes, whether it just be a lonely dude in high school or like a newly divorced man or whatever. They're single for a minute and they start losing it, dude, and start trying to like hook up with chicks at church. Like all of a sudden,
I don't think I've ever had that.
All of a sudden, these dudes go from like, you know, oh yeah, let's go like have a beer, let's do this, like everything's cool. I'm going to the show, like, you know, to yeah, I don't know if I can be involved in any cursing or any talks about anything crude or anything. It's just like, bro. We were just saying every motherfucker that there ever was, like, just the other day, dude. I've known you my entire life. And then he's with this chick, and it's like, oh. All right, I see. He's feeling the power of the Lord. You know,
exactly.
Like
We know what time it was for him.
He has the divine blessing.
Yes. Yes, he has the divine He is receiving his divine blessings. Wow, how that converted a motherfucker real quick.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, but that is just like, to me, I see that happening, and I'm like, bro, you are the lowest form, bro. You're going to put your everlasting soul on a piece?
Yeah.
Like you are on your knees crying out to the Lord so that you just don't lay in a stagnant situation. Like, that is, bro.
Oh, yeah.
Checking out the First National Bank of that booty dough.
El Simpleton, you know? El Simpleton.
You know, I want to bring that up. The term simp. The longest time when I heard people saying that, I thought people were talking about The Simpsons. That's what I also thought it was. Like people calling like Homer Simpson.
Well, it's really unfair because they've been carrying that name for so long. It's like, why? How? You can't take that from them. The Simpsons been on for like 20 some years. Like what, 30 now or something? It's crazy.
Yes, I'm like that.
Like I thought they were honestly talking about The Simpsons.
They should have been. See, that's the thing. They should have been talking about The Simpsons, but they weren't. And why? The damn liberals.
And that's why we can't have nice things, which is why they got rid of Apu.
Oh, God.
Well,
yeah, that pissed me off.
Listen, dude. That's something about American politics that pisses me off so badly. Is like the one side gets blamed for censoring shit, and then the other side turns around and censors something also. And it's like, what are you doing? We have had this shit for years. This stuff is not even new that you're censoring. It's like timeless classics on both ends. You've got The Simpsons, and then you've got all these books about the Holocaust and shit. And these motherfuckers are like, why? I can't believe that you crybaby snowflakes are banning this American blah, blah, blah. And then we'll have a book about the Holocaust, and the right-wing motherfuckers, I don't want my kids reading about that in school. It's like,
exactly.
You don't want them reading about the truth? And you're the one talking about censorship being bullshit, and you don't want your kids to learn about the truth. Neither one of them makes sense. Neither one of them makes sense, dude. Neither one of them makes sense. And people will die on those hills. Just blah, 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 blah. All because they don't want to think about their debt, their failing marriage, their problems that they have they don't want to talk to a therapist about. Religion has turned into politics in America in a lot of ways. People have abandoned religion for politics, and now they worship political figures, which are, oh my God, you could make a fantastical story about a space alien in the sky that is a divine being, and it be less fantastical than believing that a politician is divine. These people are jokes.
Yeah. Instead of believing in a god, they believe in a politician is a god.
The big orange, what the fuck?
It's like,
I was
Jesus
talking to
Christ.
Nikki. I was like, how do we live in a timeline where one of the most influential politicians in the world is the guy from The Apprentice, and the largest media outlet is fucking Joe Rogan, the guy from Fear Factor, dude? What is this?
Bring Alex Jones back.
The guy who asked, have you tried it DMT every 2 seconds?
Dude, I was watching some documentary and they were talking about the impact that Alex Jones had on the early Trump campaign. And I was just like, oh my God, how? I was watching this dude in like middle school infiltrate the Bohemian Grove and shit. Like, this is imagine the guy from Ghost Hunters was able to influence the next election somehow. Like, what is happening here? It's ridiculous.
Yeah, that whole period was a complete shit show from all angles. It was, a lot of people have their feelings about it, but for me, it was so fucking funny.
I think that it's all funny as someone who, I mean, I don't know. There's been so many forms of government tried, and they've all just ended in epic failure every single time, that I don't know what the right answer to any of this shit is. But I do think it's hilarious when people think that they do and they're wrong. So it has been funny to watch, like, this unbelievably robust society vote into one of the most powerful offices in the country, a complete buffoon over and over again for a long time.
You know what I think? I think that people should stop investing in political parties and start investing in Minecraft Pringles.
Dude, Thomas is going to get us a sponsorship somewhere.
Yes,
please contact us.
Listen, we're willing to work with Lacoste. Okay, I saw that they have a deal with Minecraft going on, so we'll rock some $180 Lacoste t-shirts and eat Pringles and get the Pringle dust all down our shirts and rub them in our beards and face and hair and just show, it's a multifaceted product. Why not itch your armpits? Exactly. You can use Pringles to itch your armpits. You've had that problem. Hell, if nobody's around, maybe do the reach around. Itch there too. Pringles serve their customers, dude. We can do pitches all day for Pringles.
Exactly.
Show us the money.
Depending on how much Alvin and the Chipmunks drop a little fucking Pringles.
Chippendales. We can do some Chippendale dancers covered in Pringles. I mean, we bring it all to the table. All right, the full Monty, you could say.
Yeah. Instead of like little nipple tassels, we just put Pringles.
Dude, I have got banned from Facebook like 3 times. Okay. And I still apply for verification like every month, even though they've banned my account, so it'll never happen. But I get banned for the stupidest picture, dude. It would probably get me in trouble on here too, but it is this old man who has, like, how there are these clamp things that hold name tags or whatever. It's like the little chain and it has like the little metal clamp on the end of it. It's not anything big or anything. Well, for some reason, this dude has his phone set up. He's taking a selfie in a gas station bathroom, and on the knobs of the sink, he's got his nipples like latched to these chains to the little knobs on the sink, and he's just bold-faced standing there looking at the camera like this. And it's just like this 70-year-old man doing that for no reason. And dude, it kills me. To me, it's so funny. And every time I post it on Facebook just as a joke, I get banned. It's like lewd content to them. I'm like, for who? Who out there actually sees this and is like, oh man, like, gas station grandpa, here I come. Like,
listen, man. We've had so many fetishes in the last 2 decades now. It's best not to question it anymore.
But still, no, I asked. Like, the 3rd time I started arguing with Facebook, I was like, you tell me who. You tell me who and why, bro. there are Cardi B videos and all that bullshit posted on Facebook every day. And you're going to ban me 3 times over grandpa nipples? Get out of here, dude. Get out of here.
All of the horrifying shit that's live streamed on Facebook every few minutes.
I know.
And then they're going to get mad at fucking old grandpa nipples.
Dude, the first time I was like, this is a mistake, bro. The second time I was like, I am so angry about this. The third time is like, I'm doing it just because I don't give a fuck anymore.
I want my grandpa nipples, goddammit.
I was in these Facebook groups like 6 years ago where it was like role playing, and we were role playing professional wrestlers, right?
Yeah.
So this is in a private Facebook group. It's not like on anybody's feed who's not like, I want to be here. I see the rules and I want to be here. So we were pretty much just cutting wrestling promos on each other. Just like, I'm talking about just saying the most fucked up shit we could possibly think of about whipping somebody, you know, like wrestling promos, but modern and like raw. Dude, that shit went on for like 5 years. And then right around 2019, people's videos just started disappearing. You know, threats and all this shit. And it's like the AI couldn't tell that we were RPing.
Oh, yeah.
The AI was just like, oh, God, this is some shit about to pop off. And it's just like, no, dude, we're sitting there misted with water, sweating like Hulk Hogan. You know, people that are just like the most unathletic people that you've ever seen in your life standing there just like, come this Saturday at SmackDown, I'm gonna do this, you know. And it's just like obviously a joke, like it's obviously RP, we're just fucking around, right? But that whole hobby got just smashed to smithereens because of like censorship on Facebook and them like banning things for no reason. Like, that shit is a joke. Like, nobody was reporting this, nobody was mad about this. It just started happening. And it started happening first in the comment sections. Because anything that you typed out was like, I'm going to do this or this. Was just like, boom.
Immediately just pick it up.
Yep.
Well, Blade Shoe says, it'll be better probably if it was an old woman doing it. It'll look more like wrinkly carpet, so they'll probably not notice the difference.
Dude, have you guys seen that angry grandma lady?
Which one?
Doesn't sound familiar.
Like, there was one video. It's just this like 70-year-old grandma lady who this guy was filming because she bitches about everything. And she's really funny, but she says she cusses a lot, like a lot more than angry grandpa, you know. It's just funny, I guess, to see, is that ageist? I've been hearing this thing called being ageist. To think it's funny when old people do things.
I mean, sometimes it's just funny. I mean, I don't.
That's what I think too. I'm not saying she's incapable of anything. I just think she's funny as hell.
I mean, you're not discriminating against old people. You just think it's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bjorn, you got into the middle of an odd conversation here, so we can't really...
What are we talking? We've been talking about everything, but I guess we're about to talk about some Silent Hill situations. You guys want to rage about that?
Oh, yeah. Sure, fucking... I've seen a lot of... I've seen a lot of people talk about Silent Hill remake, Silent Hill this, Silent Hill that, for months and months and months now. And as much as I would have wanted it, I really think Silent Hill, the entire franchise, should just stay fucking dead at this point. People don't need to dig up Silent Hill 2 again. People don't need to try and do that formula again. It's been tried, it's been done. Just leave it alone and try something new. That's really what I think.
Yeah, I think that could be said for a lot of stuff, man.
A lot of stuff, yeah,
A
but
lot of stuff. I'm kind of getting tired of the shortage of new shit.
yeah.
The only thing that I will hold out on though is Elder Scrolls, and I know people keep telling me, "Well, you better be careful what you wish for when it's a steaming pile of dog shit."
Mm,
And I'm just like, maybe, but at least we'll know.
yeah,
I don't
exactly.
want to be left on red with this shit. Like, this may be the last fucking Elder Scrolls I see in my lifetime, evidently. So can we just get on with it before while my vision is decent, like, so I can see it, you know?
Yeah,
Like,
Yeah. Well, here's something that bugs me too here. First of all, hello, happy fairy Jerry. In the comment, I seen you in the comments of the podcast. You said this is your favorite podcast. It's greatly appreciated, sir. But
what?
hey,
Hell yeah.
yeah,
Thank you.
in the last yeah, in the last podcast, he commented like this is his favorite podcast to wake up to. But aside from that,
Sick.
Bjorn commented people also need to buy the game as well, and that's the thing. People always say that you don't need to buy the game, but yet they still do. It's just like
Well,
we're in
they
this weird
will.
capitalistic loop where we have to buy shit or else
You
something. I
got to
don't
think
fucking know.
about how big the entity is that you're talking about too. They can take bumps. Like, they have the
yeah,
ability to be like, oh well, this wasn't as good. It's
Right?
yeah.
it's not a big deal to us. We were right anyway. People are just stupid. How many times
Mm.
have you seen DC do that? How many times
Oh,
has DC been like, you know what? And Amazon too. Amazon knows that like hardcore fans of Lord of the Rings are about to dunk on this series. They don't care. They don't care. They are not going to give a shit about the failure of the Lord of the Rings series. What they're going to do is they're going to try to run the fans out of the fandom. They're going to try to start a whole new thing with the IP and turn young people onto it so that they're the ones latched onto it and they're the new customer, they're the new fan base, and all the rest of us can just, float on along our warrior's burial down the river like Boromir and just be gone. They don't
yeah.
care. They don't care. So that's what's happening with a lot of things. You'll see games and things like that change so drastically for a new audience for the simple
Mm,
fact that they're not marketing to us and they don't
yeah.
care.
I think at a there's like this weird like at least with them making new shit to appeal to a newer audience, at least with that, you have something new. But the thing that I'm seeing a lot recently is what really weirds me out is this weird fascination and this weird clamoring for nothing but remakes and remasters of the
Yeah.
same old
No,
thing.
I hate that.
Yeah, it's like for some games I kind of get it because, it's very clunky, old. You might want it in a new shinier coat. Great,
Yeah.
that's fantastic. I love that. But there's so many of them and there's nothing really new being developed. Like you can do so much with these franchises except for just remaking them or remastering them just to get a little bit more money
Yeah.
from nostalgia bait. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Then there's shit that I'm excited about, like the Turtles, um, the new Turtles game that's coming out.
Yeah, yeah.
You know why? Because it's been so long since they've
Exactly.
done that. Like, it's
Mhm.
been, I don't, the last good Turtles game, Jesus Christ. I mean,
Years and
there was
years ago.
a good one for GameCube, but that's the last good one that I can think of, and it was like pretty decent graphics, and then it played a lot like one of the side scrollers, So it was okay, but this is supposed to be like Turtles in Time, like a sequel to that. So holy
Hmm.
shit, like that's a really really good game. It's probably the best Turtles game. So I'm glad to have something like that, but
Yeah.
I don't know what the deal is. One of the only franchises that really works well like that is Godzilla. They just keep redoing Godzilla and remaking Godzilla and everything, but it's like not some big deep lore. Like it's not like Silent Hill where there's so freaking much to it that just can't be changed or you just ruin the whole thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can do different versions of Godzilla and it's like, you know, as long as it's a big atomic dinosaur, you've kind of got it, you know. We could see a cool variant come out of whatever you do with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, here's a big fuck off dinosaur. He has robot powers now. Okay, cool.
Well, the thing with that as well with Silent Hill is that I saw an article recently talking about how Resident Evil had more staying power than Silent Hill did. Because, like, with Silent Hill, it's always just like a city you go to. It's just like every time there's a fucking city, there's this random white guy always going to a random fucking ghost town with fog in it, and there's just, like, always these different puzzles and shit. It's like, it kind of falls into the same traps a little bit. Whereas with Resident Evil, they at least diversify a bit more, like with how they tell their stories and such. Like how we went from Resident Evil 3 to Resident Evil 4, they changed up the formula a bit. Yeah. And then Resident Evil 4, Resident Evil 7. Yeah. They change shit up every once in a while, but Silent Hill hardly changes up anything aside from the character.
Yeah, I think that also has to do with how Resident Evil is written as a franchise in comparison to Silent Hill.
Yeah,
because like,
and also how Konami treats the IP.
That too, that especially.
Well, Resident Evil has treated its IP like absolute dog shit. Okay, there have been plenty. Operation Raccoon City is one of the worst games of all time.
Oh yeah.
You know, I mean, there are. I could show you a stack of Resident Evil games that are shit. Mostly within the period of PS2 to PS3 was the worst, you know.
Oh yeah.
But it seems like they've kind of grabbed a hold of the reins a little bit. I've heard people complain about the remake of 3, but
it just missed a lot of content. That's all it was really.
But as far as that goes, Resident Evil has had a lot more wins. You know, but they've had a shit ton of. Well, and I don't even want to talk about the adaptations. Ooh.
Oh,
plus it's marginally more marketable than Silent Hill is because Resident Evil has more like mainstream scares in it, whereas Silent Hill goes a bit more out there that not a lot of mainstream audiences will actually latch on to. So
yeah,
that's also what it is.
You can chalk that up to cultural differences, really.
Well, like they go for a very different approach. Like Silent Hill is very psychological, and Resident Evil is very like, oh, here's this spooky mansion. What's around the corner? It's a zombie! Yep. And then you shoot him in the face.
A lot of American audience. A lot of the American audience just don't have time for that. Honestly.
Oh yeah.
Honestly, that's why, you know, you'll have a whole scenario played out for a TV show in like 3 minutes. In one conversation, this huge thing will occur. Whereas, you know, you watch media from around the world and plots can linger for a while and build. I think that's got to do with a lot of the shit that people get hooked on in anime is because they don't give you everything like in 1 hour and 45-minute episode. Like the episodes of shows aren't a movie.
Yeah.
You know? So yeah, which I think lends to the best kind of storytelling, dude. Some of my favorite media are shows that just like cliffhangers get you. You know, it makes me buy in. You know, I get invested.
You gotta let that shit build up.
Yeah.
Bjorn says, "Can we blame parents for the family-friendly trend? That shit's been going on since the '60s, dude. Honestly,
yeah.
Wholeheartedly, yes."
I chalk it up with people who have time for it. You know, if you look at those situations, if you look at a lot of those situations where people are speaking out against, you know, oh, games are too violent or, you know, this, that, or anything to an extreme degree where it reaches the social discussion and people are talking about it, you'll find somebody who is either so dedicated to the cause because they've like lost a loved one because of it or something like that. They're doing like an honorable thing. Or someone who doesn't really care about the cause but wants to be known for it.
Oh, yeah.
And they're the loudest and the worst. Like, you can see the sense in somebody who's lost somebody, you know, trying to influence policy, and that becomes their life, you know. But then you've also got these people who have no association to it and no jobs, they have nothing going on in their life but that. And it's like all on their social media, look, attention on me, blah, 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 blah. But you're right, Thomas. That kind of thing has been going on since forever. You know, get my name in the press for this. You know, it's ridiculous.
Trying to make everything about the kids, even though originally nobody gave a fuck about kids.
And they still don't. That's the thing. Yeah. They're going to argue about stuff like video games, but when it comes to free lunch at school, well, I don't know. Oh, so you don't want them to be violent because of video games, but you think a rumbling stomach's not going to make somebody uncomfortable when he sees everybody else's ass over there chowing down? That's real resentment.
You want the kids of America to be malnourished?
They don't care about children until they become military age.
Dude. It's all disgusting to me. It's they don't care about anybody or anything other than being right.
Oh, yeah.
Damn, there goes my stomach.
Well, it's like you need some Minecraft Pringles.
Yeah, dude. I need to take a bath, too. Those Minecraft Pringles are good for that. You'll never have your feet smell better than after you scrub them down with some Minecraft Pringles. The sour cream and onion ones.
Specifically in only.
If you want your feet to smell like Shrek, salt or sour cream and onion chips.
Yeah. Apparently, people blamed horror novels for turning people into murderers in the 1800s. Bjorn says.
Oh yeah,
of course they did, dude.
Because heavy metal's for Satanists, horror movies are for serial killers. Like,
anytime that there is a complicated issue. Anytime that there's some situation that happens where people are like, I can't believe this. How could anyone do this? How could this happen? It is so comforting to find a boogeyman. It is so reassuring to say we know what happened than it is to have to grapple with the reality of something and the answer be, we don't know.
Oh yeah.
We don't know. Because that's terrifying. But a lot of times it's the truth. Yeah. And you take all of these horrid situations that have happened, you know, in our lifetimes, and you sit back and you think after years have passed, the truth turns out to be a whole lot different than what we initially thought. And the answer, though it is so obvious now in certain circumstances, who knew, you know, who could have known then? But people tend to act like we have to be so hyper vigilant about extreme circumstances to the point of delusion where we can't actually fix anything. It's horrible. It's horrible. And I had an argument with somebody, you know, here recently because they just went on about this situation and put a bunch of people on blast. And, you know, I was like, dude, the reason why you're erupting automatically about this is because it's such a big deal. But that's the same reason why you need to make sure that all the information you have about this is 100% true, because it is that important that the thought of it being true makes you want to erupt into this big reaction. So you need to investigate this situation and make sure you know the truth before you react like that. Because if you are right, you need to. But if you're wrong and you react that way, you're putting the consequences of that on somebody, and it's a huge deal. Right? So it's become uncommon for people to sit back and be like, okay, is this legitimate? Because if it is, it's a big deal. They just jump to, it's a big deal because I heard about it.
Exactly. It's, this is in my peripheral vision. This is a thing. It's no, it isn't. Like,
it's like, I care this much about it. I care this much, you know? But if it's not true, man, it's like, it's crazy. And people get that way about rumors about games too. They'll hear something on a board and just be like, I'm done with this franchise. This is going to be the worst game ever.
Yeah, every fucking time.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like the game hasn't even come out yet.
All you've heard is the name. Yeah, that's why it sucks.
You know my name, you don't know my story.
Right.
But apparently Mean Metal Mike says that parents are saying Family Guy made their kids turn gay in today's society. First of all, what are you kids doing watching Family Guy? Are you trying to torture them or something?
It's not Family Guy that's making the kids gay, let me tell you that much. Jesus Christ.
Give us some perspective there, sir.
There are so many other things that'll make you way gayer. Family Guy is not one of them.
I don't like them making that Family Guy. That turns the freaking kids gay.
Was it you, Nanopolis, that was talking about the main character from the new SMT game, just being like, "Oh Lord"?
Oh yeah, I want to smash the fucking SMT5 protagonist. Are you kidding me?
I'll be in my basement if you need me.
That was the confirmation.
Yeah, dude, cute men. I love cute anime protagonists. I love
Rappy says, my son has diarrhea for 2 weeks now. I blame the Super Mario Brothers.
I blame the Super Mario Brothers. I blame them for everything. I don't trust those Japanese Italians.
Hey, they were supposed to clean the pipes. Not my fault.
Dude, I find
it multicultural for.
I find it very interesting that Mario has 2 connections to the Axis powers. You know, it's a little known fact. I don't know if I can trust him.
Tojo and Mussolini.
Yeah, I don't know if I can trust him. But yeah, dude, like there have been some World War II veterans that I have met, that have given people shit for driving Japanese vehicles, mostly the Mitsubishi, because that's, you know, they made aircraft during World War II. And one of my friends was just like, Jesus Christ, man, like, that shit was so crazy that it just stuck with people to that point. Like, we were in high school. This guy had to have been like 80-something years old. He was working at the town dump because all he had to do for his job, you know, was just be like, yep, throw your trash over there, you know. And he was like World War II veteran who, of course, couldn't stop working, you know, just like would not stop, you know. And but he would give some people shit for the Japanese cars that they would drive in there and shit. And it was just like, man, to even like to know someone who went through that and went through that time period is just like so mind blowing. Like, like we love Japanese culture and entertainment and stuff in our society now. You know, anime is so huge. People just absolutely love Japanese products like the PlayStation and stuff. Like, our brains just don't work in that way. The world is so different then, and it's just like almost fantasy to a certain degree to a lot of people, you know, and I've even found myself in that way. But it's like, nah, dude, like that situation was legitimately a real thing, and our world was shaped by that. And it's completely mind-blowing when you encountered, you know, and now as an adult compared to 15, 16-year-old me that would encounter that dude, like thinking about, there was another guy there who survived the invasion of Normandy. There were like 3 or 4 World War II veterans there when I was in high school, and one of them had survived the invasion of Normandy. Could you imagine that?
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
That's not Saving Private Ryan, bro. That's IRL, you know? Yeah.
That's one tough motherfucker.
Yeah. Well, I mean, or just completely lucky.
Very, very fucking lucky. Probably, yeah.
I mean, or just cursed. Would it be better to go out than to go through something like that and live to tell about it? You know, horrific, dude. Horrific.
Yeah.
The masks.
It
Yeah.
is.
So and it was just Memorial Day here recently. That may be why that's on my brain because, seeing some things. And World War II is one of those things that I like to make sure that I recognize as a real thing, because I think a lot of people sit with this easiness and don't realize that could happen tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
That could happen tomorrow. Like right before COVID happened, I was trying to get one of those leaflets that the American pilots dropped on Nagasaki to warn them that they were going to drop the nuke, that they should evacuate. Just as a reminder that, life can change like that anytime and it's out of our control. So we got to enjoy this shit. Right?
Yeah.
And then COVID happened. I was like, well, I don't need to buy that leaflet anymore.
Well, fuck.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Yeah.
That was divine timing.
Yeah, it really was, dude.
Oh, here's an interesting question from this guy, Ahmed Hazim, for Chad. He says, sorry for diverging. I have one question. How did you find the strength to face online hatred when you're misunderstood online?
Oh, dude. Because I've been misunderstood my entire life. First rule is that people think they can punk me out, dude. And I hate that because it's just like I had to develop a reputation among my peers at a very early age that I'm not a target.
Yeah.
The way that I grew up was, having one of my teeth kicked out in kindergarten, because some people's upbringing made them not like the fact that my best friend was black, and that, I was cool with that, and I was not cool with them saying stuff about him, and that's just the way it was.
Yeah.
And even when I changed schools, that kind of stuff happened, There was just this incident in middle school where probably my second day in school, we're walking around the track early in the morning for gym class, was my first class, and this other kid was new too, and his job in his mind was to push me around. So the first time that happened, I handled business really quick, rearranged his smile, and that was that, So whenever I face stuff here, dude, Nikki has had to pretty much put me in restraints to keep me from cutting a video and informing people that the harassment that we've received in the comment section about our reaction to Lord of the Rings has been ludicrous and uncalled for, and has upset her because she worked really hard on getting that out.
Yeah.
So for me, the way I would deal with that is I would come on there and let Point Dexter know that if there's a real problem, then it needs to be handled in some other way that's not this, because it doesn't make any sense to get on and berate somebody for not putting an entire movie on YouTube. How stupid is that? Like, how dumb is that?
Upload this entire fucking movie that's
Dude, the video's
riddled
15
in
minutes
copyright.
long. It's 15 minutes long, the video. It's not like we put it on there and it was like 5 minutes. Not only that, but like, dude, how many reviews or commentary videos are there about Lord of the Rings that are like 10 minutes long?
Yeah, exactly.
Nobody said anything other than Nikki was going to watch it and react to it a little bit. That's all.
It's not like you guys are going through the entire fucking trilogy, the fucking extended edition, fucking paying attention to every little scene. You're just showing it to Nikki.
We're not trying to dissect the entire movie step by step. It's true.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I don't get what the deal is. There's been plenty of people say that they didn't really care and didn't think it was a bad situation, but we're going to change it up next time and do it in like 3 pieces or something,
I mean,
for YouTube anyway.
You can maybe like try and meet people halfway a little bit and try and add a little bit more scenes in there, but like if the video's not going to come out because of that, fuck it. Just cut it down to as much as you can until it does upload. If they're unhappy with it, realistically, fuck them.
Oh no, I totally feel the same way, but I've addressed controversy head on. If I have a problem, if me and Nino have a problem right now, we're going to talk about it. I mean, that's just how it goes, you know. It's not any hatred towards anybody. I just don't deal with it. I can have somebody in the comment section say some stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And if they were to do what we're doing right now and just call me on Discord and we have a conversation about it, it wouldn't be no I'm about to do something kind of energy for me. I'd be like, what is your problem, dude?
Yeah, exactly.
What is the problem here? Because I don't have one. Why are you doing this?
Yeah.
You know, if you have some constructive criticism for me, fantastic. If not, then you need to work through your personal issues, bro.
Yeah.
You know, stop venting that shit on me. I can relate to people having an issue. I know what it feels like, and it don't feel good. Fix it.
Yeah.
Doing some lashing out at me ain't fixing your problems.
Yeah, exactly. Do you want the video to be uploaded or not?
I know. And if you don't, then go somewhere. Like, what are you doing here?
Exactly. Go outside. Get a hobby. Go do something. I don't know.
So, yeah, that's how I address it. Head on. You got to take care of business straight up.
Yeah, exactly. No, just the nightmare of copyright that shit is riddled in. It's like,
Uh-oh.
The hell
Speaking of, no.
I'm gonna mute myself real quick. I'm gonna take that.
Yeah, definitely. But
all right.
Yeah, dude.
Apparently, there's some chimichanga time over there.
Yep. I think we were talking about Sonic Adventures.
Sonic Frontiers, yeah.
Or Frontiers. Let me see if I can. Blah. There we go.
Go get a sandwich.
Yeah, go get a sandwich. Yeah, dude. I've seen some stuff about it, and it looks nice. But I don't think that the problem for Sonic over the past few years has been the look of the games. I think it's been the way that they play. Like not fun.
Yeah. Like, there's one guy I watch, Radical Soda, which I probably recommend you watch some of his videos as well, but he live streams. And he is... I don't know if he'd consider himself a Sonic fan nowadays, but he's, like, very big on Sonic, you know? That's, like, one of the main things of his channel. He was looking over the Sonic Frontiers footage with a few friends of his, and he feels the same way about, like, the playing of it. Like, it just has to play good. He talks about how, like, the landscapes are all barren and shit. There's just stuff floating up in the air, like grind rails and springs and shit like there. And honestly, I can see some of that, you know? It's just, like, it's still a work in progress. And even so, they should just, like, I've heard people call for Sega to delay the game further so that way they can fix some of that stuff.
Yeah.
Which they're obviously not going to do.
So is it supposed to be like a free roam kind of platformy?
Yeah, they said it was supposed to be like an open world. It's like it's supposed to be like an open world Sonic game and such. There are places you can go, like levels and such, but they said there's like it's mostly going to be like an open world kind of thing where you can like choose your own levels, kind of like what Sonic Unleashed was.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which, by the way, I love Sonic Unleashed. One of the only few people that do. For both regular Sonic and the Werehog.
Are you back, Nanopolis?
Yes, sir. Sorry about that.
Oh, you're good. You're good.
I found it funny though, where when you went away, there was just a picture of you just in the corner.
I know. Like I was just in the corner there, just
looking intensely. Like,
don't. I got you. I disabled the camera eventually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, dude. We were just talking about Sonic.
Yeah, I'm interested in where that goes because, like, people like to say, "Oh, 2D Sonic is the best Sonic. 3D Sonic sucks." If you put Sonic with his speed and the little fucking extra abilities he has in a good, big open 3D world that you can actually do cool tricks in and explore shit, it could be an amazing game.
Yeah,
but I have no real faith in Sonic Team, but if they do
it's mostly Sega nowadays.
Yeah, but like if they do like the Sonic Mania type beat, but just in 3D, I'm down for it. But if it's Sega or Sonic Team themselves, nah, I'm not touching it.
Honestly, I don't blame Sonic Team. I think it's mostly Sega at this point, not knowing how to handle this shit.
Yeah.
Kind of like Silent Hill, Konami not knowing how to handle Silent Hill. You know, just fucking.
Yeah.
Just, like, using this thing for all
gambling machines are so profitable, though.
Dude, Pachinko makes so much money.
You know, what do you guys think about the new Diablo cell phone game?
The pay-to-win bullshit.
Well, no. My buddy Andy at work, he was playing that. He's like an older guy. He does like World of Warcraft stuff. He tells me there's no pay-to-play stuff in that.
No pay-to-play, no. But they are heavily throttling everything until you fork up some money.
Yeah, like you would have to grind your entire life away to do anything.
Yeah.
And for me, I'm done with cell phone games, dude. I'm done with mobile games. I've tried to give all these different ones a chance because they sounded like a good thing. And guess what? The hardware is capable of it. If they wanted to, they could port all kinds of badass games to mobile and make it accessible through like, you know, different Bluetooth controllers or you know, the Razer or whatever. They could make modern cell phones can handle like PS3 games.
Yeah, easily.
You know? So what's the deal? Why are they not doing that? Why are they not putting out Diablo 3 on cell phone and just making it controller compatible and like you can just play the game online and shit? People would buy the hell out of that, man. It's on everything else. Why not put it on mobile?
Yeah,
Middle Mike's saying Diablo 3 still slaps.
Diablo 3 still slaps. That's what I'm saying. Why not make a port of that, the mobile game that they launched? Didn't they just get booed out of existence when they revealed this years ago that they were doing this? Didn't that become like a meme when somebody stood up and asked them if the new Diablo being a mobile game was a joke?
Oh, yeah.
They got laughed out of the building, dude.
April Fool's joke.
Yeah.
A lot of things become a meme these days. I can't keep track of all the memes.
This was like years ago, though, and then it comes out, and it's still just like.
Do you guys not have phones?
They will tout. They will tout
the brain.
They will tout the downloads, but they will never tell you how many people uninstalled that shit.
Oh fuck no.
But that's fine because it'll either get fixed or become the joke for everybody.
It probably will just become the laughing stock.
But just like Elder Scrolls Online, like they had to fix it.
Oh yeah.
You know, now I hear a lot of people enjoy it actually. But for me, I don't want to play first person World of Warcraft. That's not Elder Scrolls to me at all.
Yeah, no.
Remember when they were working on Diablo 4 for console, Middle Mike says?
They were like actually actively saying they were developing Diablo 4?
Yeah, I didn't ever hear about that.
Well, apparently Middle Mike's saying it. Like they're saying they were working on Diablo 4 for console. I never heard of that.
I never heard that either. But I did hear that the new Pokemon games will be multiplayer co-op.
Okay.
And that they'll have the catching style of Arceus. And it'll be like, I think 4 or 5 people can be in the same world at the same time. Okay. So you can run with a whole crew.
Yeah, just throw Pokeballs at each other.
Throw Pokeballs at each other. Slinging balls with your friends. It's all good.
Generic anime man, I choose you.
Mm-hmm. But I think that would be cool as shit.
Yeah. Apparently Diablo 4 was announced at BlizzCon 2019. And they say that neither it nor Overwatch 2 will be released in 2022. Which...
Dimbablo. Yeah, Dimbablo.
That's another thing. Bad Game the sequel. Overwatch 2. I don't get that. Why didn't they just update? Because from what I saw from Overwatch 2, it just literally looks like the same game with a few new things, like a few maps, maybe a new character, if there's even a new character, because I don't even know, and that's about it.
I don't know, man. I saw that game as like first person League of Legends. Pretty much.
I just saw it as a bad Team Fortress 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was about to say people saw it as like a Team Fortress 2 knockoff.
Yeah, Team Fortress 2, but you cannot tell for the life of you what character is what class, just from the silhouette.
Also, people mostly know Overwatch characters for the porn they made.
Oh, dude,
beautiful.
So much porn.
Yeah,
Isn't
so
that
much
quality too.
Jesus Christ.
That's crazy. But it's like, give something to the internet and that's going to happen.
Oh, dude, 100%.
I just don't
Especially,
get it.
what the hell is that purple chick's name? Widowmaker?
Oh, the second her character model was announced. The second.
Yeah. Leave it up to the internet. Leave it up to the internet and it's going to happen. Dude, I guess it was a joke. Maybe it wasn't. But I remember back like a year or so ago, somebody had said something in the Renegade Discord about somebody making a fan fiction of us.
Oh, God.
And I was just like, I don't want to know.
Burn
Please.
the paper. We don't want to fucking see that.
Yeah. But yeah, leave it to the internet, man. I do think that there is a lack of respect for the good quality, lore-friendly fan fiction that gets written that's not that type of stuff. That's just, actual fan fiction. And I wonder what we could have seen come out of something like, the newer generation Star Wars movies and just things like that, had they been scouting the internet over the years and finding these writers that are out here writing these incredible fan fictions and things like that and put them onto writing teams and stuff. Like, that resource was not available to a lot of these people who are finding talent back in the day. Like, I guess you had to write your own novels and shit for it to be something you got a chance at. But just imagine if they had people out there scouting forums of fan fiction and stuff for some of this stuff. I bet you we would have seen some incredible stuff.
Oh yeah, dude. Jesus Christ.
Like, SCP is so full of like spectacular stuff. Like SCP, since Nate showed me that, I've just been like, holy shit, some of these people are ludicrously talented.
No, absolutely.
There's a lot of people playing that SCP Containment Breach like many years ago, like 10 or so years back. Like PewDiePie, Markiplier was playing it. There's a lot of people getting into that fucking game. Especially Markiplier. He's got like almost 70 videos on that shit. Maybe more, I don't know.
I mean, just think about it too. That's not some huge corporate entity shoving that out there as a product. You know what I mean? It's just like, it's amazing to me that people who have been successful think that they're always the most successful and nobody can ever do it better, and they don't ever pass the baton or try to bring anybody up or put somebody on until they're like 10, 20 years past their prime.
Yeah.
And the IPs that they're working with are dog shit, and everything they've done they've ruined because they just won't train somebody, give somebody an opportunity, and get out of the way.
Yeah.
Speaking of the Halo series.
Yeah. I've been having fun with Halo Infinite.
No, I'm talking about like the TV series on Paramount.
Oh, yeah. See, that's just an IP being shoved off to a company that doesn't care about it, and they're like, produce something. They're like, oh,
right.
Let's make a stereotypical anything out of this.
Yeah. The people are open that they haven't played the games or like read any of the books or whatever, so it's like, why the fuck? With an adaptation, you gotta at least get people who care about the IP to fucking make something good out of that, so that way you can also adapt it to a new audience while also still keeping the core fan base there. It's like a lot of people don't really do that. They just like, like take the Resident Evil movies for example. It's like even though the Mila Jovovich stuff is kind of weird and actiony and shit, it's like you can still recognize it as a Resident Evil movie. They still have some traces to that world in there. It's just told differently.
It's not Dragon Ball Evolution, but it's nowhere near close to being a good Resident Evil movie or adaptation. I would argue against it being worth a damn, honestly. There are elements there. There's no doubt about that. But it's just like, dude, when you have the story completely written for you, all you have to do is show what happens in Resident Evil 1 on screen.
Yeah.
Get the actors that you want. Go ahead. Make them anything you want to. But the scenario, the company, they got right. You're right. There's the Umbrella Corporation and all that stuff. But it's like, just take them to the house and let it play out. It wouldn't be this always guns firing action movie that Sylvester Stallone could star in. It'll be a horror movie. Wow. Imagine that. A horror movie based on a horror game. A survival horror game. Wow. It's not an action horror game. It's a survival horror game. So you have suspense. You have gore. You have jump scares. And you have the fact that there's not unlimited bullets and backflips and gun shooting. They are normal human beings that have to survive this. How hard is that?
I mean, to be fair, as shit as those movies are, give me a bottle of vodka and a pizza, and I will watch all of those movies back to back and enjoy myself. I will laugh my ass off.
I'm not trying to say that it's not fun and it's not cool, but I just don't know why.
It's not a good Resident Evil movie.
No, but it's not even. It's like, show us the characters from the games.
Yeah, just take the game script, copy it, paste it, and do that.
Okay, now
and also get Slipknot on the soundtrack.
You can rework. You can rework some of the dialogue. All right, I'm not going to argue with you there. All right, sure. They can do that. But when it comes,
no, you got to leave in the Jill sandwich though.
There's certain things you got to leave in. I got you. But like, why not just give us the story? Like, would it not be cool as shit to see Resident Evil 4 on screen? The way, like the actual game written as a movie. Holy shit. Even the guy in the sewer. I want to see him on screen. Just going, what are you buying? Just like,
what are you buying, stranger?
Oh, the bird. Like, I thought you said the guy in the sewer. I thought you were talking about that big guy with the giant tail, Verdugo.
I just don't get it. But that's just me. I don't know. There's been several. I mean, think about how much better the Doom movie would have been had they just written an actual Doom movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Even Wasn't The Rock couldn't save that. Yeah, he couldn't even save it. He couldn't even save it. It's a bad scenario.
It's because you don't make the Doom guy talk. You just have him slaughter the zombies. That's all you fucking do.
And you know, he could have.
You don't make Master Chief take off his helmet.
Yeah. I think, didn't they also just have like one cacodemon in that fucking movie, and it was like right at the end almost? They just had generic ass monsters instead of actually Doom demons.
What is the cacodemon again? Is that like that one-eyed thing, like the little...
Yeah, the little floaty dude. Okay.
I always call that a beholder because I think of like Dungeons and Dragons and shit.
Oh yeah, does kind of look like that.
Yeah, the beholder is like the more brown, spiky-ish looking thing. It's inspired.
Sick. Well, fellas, I think that's going to do it for me. I'm starting to get to the point where I'm going to have to eat something, man. I'm going to go get some eggs, maybe a waffle. I don't know.
I got to say, though, man, these podcasts are getting better in quality, I'd say. Like, these are just, like, a lot of topics we've been going off for a while. Like, how long have we been
Oh, yeah.
12?
Yeah.
Like also, it's Chad's birthday on Wednesday.
It is my birthday on Wednesday. Thank you, Thomas.
Any special plans for that one?
I think we're going to do a stream for my birthday on Thursday, the next day. So we'll do a birthday stream and have cake and all that stuff. But I don't really know what exactly we're going to do for that. I think I'm going to try to convince Nikki to play Phasmophobia with me, maybe.
That'll be fun.
I don't know. I will definitely get her to play something with me. I'm sure that.
And have you guys thought of a challenge for tonight with Resident Evil 7?
No. Which means if it's going to be a last minute one, it's probably going to be really bad. That's when you get desperate and you agree to shit that you regret. Like, I don't know,
where you get all the
eating
chips.
sour cream and onion chips, or the crickets were a last minute thing, kind of.
I beg to differ, sir. I have these as well.
I was going to say, I'm on your side with salt and vinegar. Don't you dare diss sour cream and onion now, too.
Not sour cream and onion. I meant salt and vinegar.
Good.
I'm out of it. But yeah.
Also,
salt and vinegar.
Chips.
Yeah, those go hard too. But yeah, it'll be something bad. I'm thinking about going and seeing what the hot sauce selection looks like at the Mexican store next to me. There's a Mexican grocery store. So I'm sure I can find all kinds of weird shit in there that I don't want to eat.
Just go in there and say, "Kill me."
Well, it's just like, I'm cool with spicy food, don't get me wrong. But it's when you use spicy stuff on things that aren't normally spicy, it just messes with me. Like, I don't understand having really super hot mangoes. Like, I just don't want to do it, you know? And some of this shit is just, like, so hot. So I don't know. We'll see what it is, but I guarantee you I'm not going to be happy about it. So thanks for bringing it up.
Yeah, it gets to a point where they don't have any flavor anymore, and it's just heat and pain, and that's where I'm like,
Yep. Pity for my booty hole.
Yeah, exactly.
But anyway, I think that's going to do it, y'all. Any last words?
Stay in school, smoke crack.
Yeah,
it's high moon.
Don't actually.
It's
unless it's really good.
I woke up in a new punani.
I woke up in